What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another live Pin the Gas podcast on this beautiful Friday, well, early afternoon, maybe evening time, wherever you are in the world. And ladies and gentlemen, I have another special guest on today, and it's an absolute honor to sit down with the legend, Kara Knebel. What is up?
Oh, it's going good, I really appreciate you having me on and being able to hopefully get a little bit more exposure and share more of what's going on in my head.
I love it, man. And honestly, the honor's all mine. It really is. I've been super excited since I reached out to you and we had a phone conversation and leading up to this, sometimes it is, a couple months out before we get to sit down and do this, but the anticipation and anxiety and all that good stuff that goes along with it as the days get closer, I'm a nervous wreck. I'm pacing the house. I used to bite my fingernails. I don't anymore, but I'm constantly, I just got to do something because of the nerves. Right. And it's again, it's an absolute honor to see you today. We have a lot to talk about. First thing I want to start with is congratulations on the win at Barber. I know it was absolutely magical. I seen the emotions, the energy coming off of you, all the girls on the podium. It was a magical. So before we get into all that, tell us your whole journey. How did you get into two wheels from the beginning?
So I think that a lot of my obsession from an early age, I think I can attribute back to the Disney Channel movie, Motocrossed. I thought it was the coolest thing, I recently rewatched it. It's totally like a girl power movie, like from the early 2000. I think it was 2001. So it was, I think, in my mind as a child, like revolutionary, right? Uh, but my parents were not familiar with motorcycles at all. My mother wasn't supportive of it for a really long time. So as obsessed as I was with it and as much as I wanted to get into it, the ultimatum I had really was I would have to be an adult with my own money, pay for it myself. So coming out of college, I had some jobs that were kind of unsteady, but I tried to get into the motorcycling world as much as I could, and I was able to afford a KLR 650 as my first bike, so something under $2,000. Learned a little bit about working on it myself, but yeah, I think I was 21 by the time that I had my first motorcycle and was riding on the street. So I didn't really have the opportunity to grow up in it. Like I think a lot of people, especially like more men, are. It's a little bit more socially acceptable for men to be able to, or boys, to have a dirt bike, and that's a thing typically. But yeah, I was riding street for I think 6 or 7 years, and I really wanted to try track, mainly to. One of my karate instructors, one of my fellow black belts, was saying that it'll make you a better rider if you can go onto track and learn a lot more about handling the bike. But there's a lot, like there's a barrier there about being able to get on track. I lived within 2 hours of Coda, so it's one of my biggest regrets that I never rode Coda while I was living in San Antonio. But you need leathers, you need boots, like your bike needs to be set up for it. And it was just, I didn't have the money. I wasn't able to get to that point until I moved out to Nebraska for a promotion with work. It was about 4 years ago or so at this point. And one of the track day organizations that runs out of Hastings, Motorsport Park Hastings, Track Addicts from Ducati Omaha, they were running a free try the track event where I rode out on my street bike, and on Sunday I had like a short session, just kind of following at a little bit of a slower pace, more street pace, following some of the instructors around. And I was like, this is I need to do this, like. So it kind of came down to, I need to stop. Like, I can't keep running around and saying like, oh, I can't do it because of this or that reason. Like, stop making the excuses. Like, this is something that I need to do. So I'm going to afford it. I'm going to find a way to make this happen. So that next the next month, working with one of the guys that I had met out there, I was able to buy an SV650, kind of ratted out, but I was like, it's cheap. I'm probably going to be throwing it down, which now I realize is not the exact right mindset that you should be going on track with. But I just knew that it was something that was probably going to happen, and I didn't want to get into a financial hole with it right off the bat, And I knew that I was riding an SV1000. Like I know the SV platform, and it's fairly cheap, but so I went out, got the SV650, came back that next month for their new rider school, and like with a track prep bike, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. And so I rode like the Sundays for the rest of that year, and then the next year I started doing some of the Saturdays to get into like the AB groups, and like actually kind of get that like feel of really being with I think more of like, I don't want to call it like ranked, but the skill level.
More experienced.
Right. And then Rob Oliver sat me down that first track day and was like, you should start racing this year. Like, there's this really cool thing. Like, you can start with Arma. Look, they're going to be at Hastings and HPT back-to-back weekends. You can get the 2 races out of the way, and then we're going to go to Barber at the end of the year. And it's absolutely amazing. Like, you've got to go to Barber. And I was like, I'm terrified. Like, this is insane. I don't think that I'm ready to race. Like, what are you talking about? But he convinced me. And then that next year, my like, I think it was in the grand scheme of things, because I started like halfway through the season. In less than a year, I was racing after having gotten on track, and it was terrifying at first, but it is such an amazing, like, completely different experience than anything that I've ever had before. And like, just feeling that like quiet in my head for the first time, like ever, was really fantastic. And again, it was just like, this is something that I need to do. I inherently in me, it's just something that I didn't really know existed, that I'm so thankful I was able to try out and unlock for myself. And then so I did a few of the races with Track Addicts throughout the season. I did the Arma races. I did a few with CRA in Minnesota, and I did the Barber with Arma at the end of the year. And that was my first experience with like a more like higher scale race weekend. It's like, wow, this is crazy. This is amazing. And of course, since then, like having the opportunity with Build Train Race with Moto America has been incredible. And like something I never could have imagined. Because after Barber, if we can just like roll into kind of getting into Build Train Race, after Barber, well, actually at Barber, I'd kind of seen a few things like online. I knew that there was this program for girls racing, and I had seen like some posts from Moto America here and there, and I'm like, oh, Michaela Moore, okay, she won. Okay, I had never watched it. I didn't know anything about the program. But then we were standing there Saturday for the awards, and I'm like, I think that is Michaela Moore. I think that's Michaela Moore. So I'm like, I'm generally a fairly shy person. So just trying to get that courage to go up to her and talk to her and be like, I think that I want to do what you've been doing. Like, what is it? How do I do it? And then from there, after the races on Sunday, I got to talk to Holly Berry and Sonia Lloyd, and they explained a little bit more about the program. And I'm like, this sounds freaking awesome. Like, what a fantastic opportunity for like self-improvement and exposure and like getting to that next level, right? Because I think that's a lot of like what we're looking for, is that next level, like getting better and how to get over like whatever that barrier in our head is, right? So on our way back, I was like kind of shooting the idea with Rob and one of our other friends that came along with us, and it's like, do you think that this is something I can do? Like, do you think that do you think I should apply? He's like, oh, what's the harm in it, right? Like, yeah, do it. If you think you can commit to it, do it. And I did, and um, it was insane to get that call back that I got into the program, like completely unreal. And it's just been kind of like a fever dream ever since. So just it's again like nothing that I could have dreamed was a possibility for me.
I love it. I see the emotions and the happiness that this is exactly what it's about, you know. And I couldn't imagine the anticipation when you finally made that leap. Like, I'm gonna fill out this application, and then the emotions and everything in your head leading up to, am I gonna get a call? Am I not gonna get a call? Am I good enough? Am I not good enough? Like, do I deserve this? We all ask this ourselves those same questions. You belong where you are, and there's a reason why you're here. Um, you are absolutely amazing. You're super fast. You're talented. And again, I can't say it enough. Congratulations on your win. I was screaming through the roof. Yeah, I'm always proud of all my friends that achieve their goals. It's an amazing feeling and awesome to watch. Speaking of Rob Olivia, of course he's gonna tell you, yeah, come on, man, let's go racing. Let's jump in head first, right? He is a great ambassador for the sport, and a what he does and gets people in is absolutely amazing too. He's a good buddy of mine. Speaking on the KLR 650, is that something you still have?
Um, you know, when I moved out to Omaha, I had to leave it back in Texas, and it just ended up being like it's been sitting for a while. I don't really want to transport it up here and work on it. I've got a lot of other things that I have going on. So I just ended up letting it go for really cheap to a KLR guy, and you know, make somebody else really happy with it. And he fixed it up, had it run on the exact same day, and I saw some pretty good posts from him about it. So that was good to see him that she's getting some love again.
Absolutely, spreading the love. I love it. You know, and I want to touch base, of course, Sonya Lloyd. What a legend, right? And I feel you. I was the same way growing up, going to the races, shy. Like, oh my God, there's so and so. I want to go ask him a question. I want to talk to him so bad, but never could really force myself to do it. But when I did do it, I felt like I just hi. Right. Froze kind of like one of the things like, look at this guy right here. But then you know, you kind of when once you meet everybody, you understand that they're human just like me and you, right? They just have this unique talent right here that allows them to go so fast on a motorcycle and makes it look easy. Let's just be honest, right? You're like, oh, I can do that. And you get out there, you're like, yeah, I got a lot to learn. For sure, got a lot to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, like that was kind of a weird thing for me too. You know, like at Moto America, you've got little girls and you've got fans and stuff, and everybody's so excited about it, and it's really awesome to be a part of that. But like even going back to some of the club racing, like last year, like one of my teammates was so excited that that he was going to get to ride with me, and it was like, dude, I'm not, I'm just a person. I don't know. So yeah, absolutely. I've met a bunch of the you know, the professional motorcycle riders that you see and you're like, wow, that's so cool. But yeah, they're just normal people, and it's so cool to see how down to earth most of them are. And that, you know, I think one of the biggest things for is that they know that they're always learning, and that they're so willing to admit that, you know, they're still growing, and you know, try to help other people with it along the way because they know the struggle.
Yeah, it is. And that's one thing I love about the beauty of our sport. You know, everybody wants to see everybody succeed, you know, like, and I say this all the time. Me and you show up at a track event, we both got SVs or whatever. You're like, hey, I need this rear sprocket. I'm like, yeah, I got it. And you got there and you kicked my ass. I'm like, what a great race. We had so much fun. Give me my
Yeah.
sprocket back. Let's have a hot dog after this.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, the same thing under the pits with BTR. You know, we asking each other for sprockets, or like, hey, what are you running? And it's like, ooh, you know, trying to battle that really, especially like in the first year, like knowing like trying to figure out how competitive everyone was with each other and like where you stacked up, being like, I don't want to give all my secrets, like, but then just realizing like if they're faster, it makes you faster. And helping is such a part of it, and it's so like fulfilling as a rider to be able to see somebody else grow and then battle with them.
It's
So
yeah, it's absolutely amazing. It makes you it brings a certain type of emotion that you never expected to feel helping a fellow competitor out and then seeing him or her go out there and really improve their lap times, come back with that big old smile on their helmets. I feel like, did you see that? This was so awesome. You're like, yes. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And speaking of martial arts, I think I used to take it. I used to do taekwondo for a long time. Almost made a black belt. Something I kind of wish I would want to get back into. It helps you more right here than anything. So you being in martial arts, is that something you still do too to this day?
again, I kind of dropped that coming out of Texas. With my newer positions at work, and especially like then my frequency with my hobbies, it wasn't um, feasible really for me to keep up on. It's something that I've been kind of wanting to get back into, but also like combat sports uh, is not necessarily my flavor anymore. Of course, like staying up and being able to condition your body for like self-defense, keeping up on that type of stuff is really important. But as far as either teaching people karate, being an instructor up there, or like physically doing sparring, it's just not something that I've been as focused on here in recent years. But I've been thinking about it. Like once I'm a little bit more stable, we've just been moving around so much here since Texas. We from went to Omaha, and then we moved out to Des Moines. So we are though hopefully closing on a house next month. So should be able to settle down here a little bit more, and maybe start getting back into some of those sports that I had to leave behind.
I love it, man. Congratulations. That's a big step, right? That's something that I think growing up, you like, yeah, one day I want to own a house, right? It's more to it than you realize buying a house. You get stacks of paperwork like this and lawyers. It's like, yeah, this is a headache, right?
Well, and especially like recently looking around, I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford to do this. But again, it just kind of came down to something like I don't want to keep living in a rental. I'm going to afford this. Like I think that I can, because I've been really tight on like I've been really tight with my money for a long time, and I tell myself a lot that I can't afford to do things. But it's so that I can be able to afford to do the important stuff when it's necessary, uh, like racing or buying a house. Synonymous.
Those are just facts of life right there. Two of them: motorcycles, racing, and buying a house. That is it. It's yeah, I love it. I love it. And taking it back to BTR, your first year, you learn so much. Working on the bike, you girls show up, you build the bike, you pick out the colors and the paints and all this good stuff that goes along with it. And then throughout the weekend, you're responsible for all the maintenance, changing your chains and sprockets, and there's a lot that goes into it. And you learn so much along the way. Showing up to your first year at BTR, knowing you're going to be in Moto America live on TV, the cameras, and having fans. Like, who would have thought you got fans, right? Like, this is crazy. What's even happening? Did that add any extra pressure to you? Did you feel when you first come into BTR that first year?
So a lot of it's just the unfamiliarity with the bike. Like I'm my own person doing my own work, taking care of my bike in club racing. Like that's something that I was used to. But really one of the shocks there was, with my personal bike, I sit for hours in the garage just staring at it, making sure that like I'm going through my mental checklist. Everything is correct. I'm not gonna kill myself on this bike, right? Um, but then having this Royal Enfield for a day before you have to ride it on track, like and you just have it for a few days at a time, and then it's gone until the next time you get to see it again. And there's a lot of stuff when you're not familiar with the bike, even though you built it. You don't know what bolts are going to rattle out. You don't know what what you have to continue checking like consistently to make sure that it hasn't moved or anything. And like that was the real learning curve. And I think specifically for me, because unfortunately at our first training event last year, I was on some new medication. I ended up crashing really, really bad twice. That first time I was ever on the bike. And then, all of the work that I had done, like making sure I Loctited every bolt, making sure that everything was perfect, having to then rebuild the bike and make sure that, when all these new parts go back on it, and in that kind of heat of the moment, trying to get it back on together to ride it again, a lot of like little things end up going missed. And instead of having that, like, I know exactly how this bike is built, I put it together, it is perfect, it is ready to go. Now it's like, that's kind of just thrown together, and I'm just going to go out there with a hope and a prayer, and maybe the shifter doesn't fall off at Barber. uh, but definitely learned a lot, and trying to like take, especially like what I've learned, and I see this from the other girls too, from the second year girls, like all of the little like nuanced things like that we've learned, and trying to assist the new girls with that, like giving them the little tips and tricks of, hey, double check that. I put a zip tie here because that makes the tire changes way easier, right? Like being able to share that knowledge has been really great, and seeing how the second year girls have come together to help the first year girls has been fantastic. I think that we've got a super, super strong group this year, and like really just the love that we all have, and the desire to see each other succeed, really goes above and beyond. But yeah, absolutely. That just that limited time with the bike, I think is one of the biggest challenges for that first year starting out.
Oh, for sure. I bet it's again, it's a lot to take in, even though you're familiar with motorcycles. You work on your own. It's like, here's your new bike, here's all your parts. This is what you need to do. And you're like, okay. And then they take her away from you. You're like, but I miss my girl. Where's she at? And you come back, you're like, oh baby, how you doing? I missed you so much. And then the whole, crashing on your first 2 times out, coming back with the wreck bike, and the whole pressure behind it and anxiety, like I got to put this thing back together. And it's a kind of a hurry job, because you feel like you're on this limited time schedule, because you are on this limited time schedule, and trying to make sure you don't miss. Like you said, did I Loctite that? Did I safety wire that? Is this correct? Man, I hope I tighten my chain. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But that also makes you stronger. That makes you mentally more prepared when that situation does arise again, because it's racing. It happens as part of the game we play. You're mentally more aware of the situation when it does happen. So you know how to approach it in a better and different way than just be like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. Because we've all been there. Trust me. I remember my first crash. I totaled my first bike. It was a complete write-off. I couldn't save anything. And I had rented a U-Haul, and I had disappeared, and I was in the back crying like a girl. I was like a 12-year-old girl just sobbing like you wouldn't believe. And they're like, are you okay? I'm like, I can't. This is, yeah. Again, realizing the mistake that I made, realizing that, hey, this is just a tool that I use to give me the greatest feeling in the world. Like you said earlier, right? It's motorcycles is the only thing that I've ever done when I put my helmet on and I throw my leg over the bike and I hit that start button. It's like my mind is just blank. And it's like, I don't have anything in my head right now. Is this real? Did I just die? What is going on? Right? It's because I got ADHD. I don't take medicine. So I'm constantly, when I hyper focus on something, I'm all in. Like motorcycles is one of the only things I can be really hyper focused on, right? Besides my kid. Other than that, like I could sit there, me and you can go out to the movies and we're watching a movie. 10 minutes into it, I'm like, what the fuck is even going on? Because my mind's thinking about 50 billion other things. I'm like, can we like rewind this? And my wife hates that. She's like, oh my God, I hate watching TV with you, because I'm asking questions. What just happened? What's going on? Have you not just been staring at the TV? I'm like, I have, but here hasn't, right? So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's, funny you say that, because that's actually the reason that I had crashed during training, because I had been on Adderall for less than a month at that point, and I didn't know how it was going to affect me riding, because I think that like genuinely, like ADHD is a superpower on the track. Being able to take in like thousands of points of stimuli in an instant and be able to react to that just naturally is like that's just it's so natural, and I don't think that like it's impossible to teach anybody how to do that, um, but with like the Adderall, it slows you down. And looking back at it, it was like, okay, I go through a turn, and instead of being able to like know where I'm looking, and like see in my peripheral all of the points of reference that I have, I'd go through it and be like, oh, I kind of missed the apex there, and
Right.
then just like it was gone. It's like it was so bizarre, and I didn't. It was so many new things all at once. A new track. It was a wet track, um, and brand new bike. Like literally the third turn out, it was fairly wet. Tires were kind of cold, and the rear tire slipped a little bit. And instead of like handling it like I know how to handle a rear tire slide, I froze up and it bucked me off. And I landed on my head and like almost gave myself a concussion. Like it was insane. Like the how different everything was and how different my reaction to everything was. So needless to say, I do not take medication when I ride anymore because it is not necessary. Um, but yeah, no, it was crazy to have to really come back from that, like my first experience on this bike. um, but learned a lot of things last year, and overall, like it's just crazy, like the exponential growth that you get when you're thrown into like a professional situation, and it's like you got like if you have that desire to win or at least podium, right? Like the effort that you need to put in mentally, physically, like everything is just you have to be on point, and like having to bring yourself to that level, like after never having any exposure to like that kind of level is it's wild to think that that's something that you know I think that I was able to at least, I don't want to say achieve yet because we're not done, right? And like there's still more past the program if that's where life takes me, right? But like being able to understand what that process is really really good to feel like I'm getting that understanding.
Oh, you are obviously the win. I mean, that's yeah, obviously, right? It's all come together. It's funny you say that because I tried Adderall one time and yeah, I noticed that too. Same thing, it like really slowed me down. And I was out on a ride, I was going to meet up with a buddy of mine to have some dinner, and like I couldn't focus on shit. And then like my mind was still racing, even though it was super calm. I felt like this super slow motion, and I'm like, hey, look, squirrel. And I just hyper focused on the squirrel. I wasn't even paying attention to what I was doing on the road, and I was like, you know what? This is not for me. Absolutely not for me. I didn't feel like myself mentally, did not feel like myself at all. I felt like everything was kind of in blocks, so to speak, if that kind of makes sense, right? It's yeah, I didn't grow up, taking Adderall or Ritalin at the time or any of that. My parents, I didn't grow up eating a lot of sugar stuff. They kept me away from, cereals and sodas and all that. Yeah, of course, birthdays, I'd get cake and all that good shit. But for the most part, it was fruits and vegetables and watched what certain type of dyes I intaked and all that stuff. And that's why I am the way I am with my son. Obviously, he's got it, so I'm a big not advocate of the whole medication thing. It's a whole nother rabbit hole where we're going down, but it's not natural. I feel like everybody needs to be who they are right here and
Mhm.
love them for that and play to their strengths. Everybody's got their own weaknesses, right? You just got to find a way to um deal with it. And carrots a struggle for me every day, and I know it is for you too as well. Everybody out there that has it, it is. Good thing we got two wheels.
If I could spend my life on two wheels, absolutely.
Every day. That's right. I love it. I know I can't wait to get back to riding. I just got my cast off yesterday, and
Mhm.
yeah, I can't wait to get back on the bike. I get on my little scooter and run around the neighborhood. I get in trouble with my wife. She's like, "You're not supposed to be riding." I'm like, "I can't hear you."
I mean, you need it.
Need it. Oh, we need it. It's our life. It is our bloodline. We gotta have it. So,
Yeah.
your whole first year at BTR, you learned a ton as all you girls do in the program. Again, it's to me, it's one of the best programs we have in Moto America. I talk about it all the time. Um, Now you're in your second year, and I love to watch when you girls come in the first year and then how much progression you girls made into the second year. It's like you're a completely different person. The way you approach the racing, the way you approach riding, the way you interact with everybody, it's because it's not new anymore. You basically know the whole routine. So coming into 2025, obviously the first round is under. You top box. Congratulations again. I was super excited for I see the energy and the emotions and how proud of you are yourself. And you should be super proud of yourself of everything you have achieved. It's absolutely amazing. So looking forward to this year coming in, second year, BTR. What goals have you set for yourself this year, if any?
Oh, so there's a lot that I want to do that specifically will, I think, help put me on a trajectory for going like improving after the program, because we've got a really great opportunity here, especially working with Freddie Spencer, having the support network. And I think especially like one of the things that really helps me is the videos, like being able to go back and watch the races and see like where my body position is. This year I'm running a lap timer on the bike, and I wasn't doing that last year, so I was reviewing my data from Barber and like just seeing which essentially like how to approach the corner, like how that works best on the bike. But my goals for this year, for BTR, I want to win the championship. So I've been trying to really put in work, on track, off of track. I don't get the opportunity to go on track a whole lot, especially with my time off from work that I'm really trying to preserve to make sure that I can, and not get in trouble while I'm doing all of my BTR stuff for this year, because it is a lot of days off that I need to take. But I've been taking my Grom around the parking lot. I was doing it this morning. Just trying to keep the discipline up, doing it every day if I can, practicing the basics, but also some of the more advanced stuff, and just being willing to throw it down and find where that limit is. I think has really helped me so far, and hopefully will continue to help me progress as like during club racing. I go on to an R6 this year, so something that's a lot faster, has more modern suspension, and will hopefully just help me get to that next level of um, of speed, of how to approach the track. And especially because during club racing this year, I'm going to be not only going up kind of a tier of bikes to something that's kind of an insane bike, but also I broke into expert this year. So I'm going to be with the experts in a like super competitive class. So I'm really, really looking forward to the opportunity to just continue to develop on these more advanced platforms, as well as refining my skills on something that's more I don't want to say like rudimentary, but it doesn't have the same tech as the newer bikes do. It doesn't come into the corners as fast. It's got the dual shock rear suspension. Like it just handles completely different than a lot of the more modern motorcycles that are competitive in a lot of the classes right now, right? So my entire year right now is set around BTR and winning the championship, or at least putting in the greatest effort that I possibly can towards that, and else celebrating if like Camille ends up beating me, who knows? But we're definitely going to just continue to try to help push me towards advancing even further past that, like for the future. I think the dream is that you get to race on a Moto America team, like an actual professional team, right? But I don't even know like what the cost for that looks like, but I know it can be fairly steep overall. And, again, it's of course really competitive. And there's a ton of guys that have been doing this way longer than I have. So I think that definitely like trying to get to a point where I can at least maybe qualify as a like freelance in a few events. Like I think that that's kind of the trajectory right now for like the future after BTR. But I'm just really looking forward to also, developing into that more like expert level of riding and racing, and then being able to invest in, uh, the future of racing. So we've got some of the younger guys that are going to be riding with us this season with CRA, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to get out and help coach them a little bit, and maybe help see them grow a bit. That's always going to be the goal here.
Absolutely, and you belong here. You an expert. Who would have thought, right? I'm an expert racer. It sounds good, don't it? Yeah, I see the smile. Yeah, look at you go. Look at you shine. I'm so proud of you. Again, you should be very proud of yourself. How far you've come. Speaking of the GT 650 that you girls race, it's not a race bike. It's never intended to be a race bike, right? So when you jump on a R6, your mind's going to be like,
Right.
you know, uh, it's nothing but up and up. I honestly want to see. I would love to see. I love BTR. Absolutely fantastic. I would love to see them also implement a next phase of racing for you girls. So after your 2 year program in BTR, now they might have a Twins Cup race, championship or something like that. It's our sport is very hard. It's very expensive. Um, but again, like you said at the beginning, I'm going to make this happen. There's ways to do it. It's not unachievable. It's very achievable. I was getting ready to say,
Mhm.
I was getting ready to make up a word right there, but yeah, it's again, your second year, you've learned so much, and I physically seen it on the track from the first practice session. I was like, look at him go! Like, look at this. It's again, I said it before, the way you approach it, the way you approach the corners, the way just everything, the whole, it's like you start out on the program your first year, you're this rookie, very shy, don't really want to talk to a whole lot of people because I don't know what to say. What am I even doing here? I can't believe I'm here. And then to now it's this bright aura light, this the whole time, and smiles for miles. It's a beautiful thing to see. I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for you because it's super bright. And you, my friend, is an absolute legend and a champion. You just remember that.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. You are very welcome, Kara. This is awesome. I love your story, and this is what I love about it. It's not everybody starts at the same age, right? Some people get into it later in life. Some people have the opportunity to do it at an early age. Me growing up, yeah, I rode with my dad. I wanted a bike. My dad wanted me to get a bike. My mom's like, "Fuck no, you ain't getting no bike," right? So I was like you. Fortunate thing for me when we would move to, because I moved a lot. I was in the Navy, right? I grew up in the Navy. Every base we went to, I sought out the kids that had motorcycles, and that's how I grew up riding. Pretty much is on everybody else's bike. So yeah, and then you being here, knowing what it is physically and mentally to deal with the whole racing thing also makes you stronger as a person here, not just at the racetrack, Kara, but beyond the leather suit in everyday life, right? You're like, I never would have dreamed I'd be here, and I'm here. So what else? I can do anything, and your whole approach to everything in life completely changes because of that. And it's a beautiful thing to see the transition in every single one of you girls. And I'm a big advocate of women being in the sport. I always have been. You girls belong in the sport. One thing that I love about women in the sport, every single woman that jumps on a motorcycle, you guys are so smooth. I'm like, I wish I could be that smooth. It's like natural instinct within a woman to be just so smooth. The way you approach the bike, the body position, you transition from corner to corner, the way you come off the brakes. I mean, everything about it. Where us men, we get on it, we're like, we're Spartans. We got to grab the bull by the horns and da, 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 da. It's like we got to slow down almost and reapproach our way of thinking to even get that part of smoothness that you naturally have that I wish I had, right? And again, you women belong here. It's not just a man sport. It's everybody's sport. We're all humans the last time I checked, right? Or aliens, however you want to look at it. So yeah, it's unfortunately in our sport, there's a bunch of assholes out there that don't believe women should be in the sport, and I'm the guy on the opposite end going, absolutely, they belong here. It's enjoyable, and whether you know this or not, Kiara, we learn so much from you being out there on the track, watching the way you prepare for battle, watching the way you go out there and you ride the bike finesse. Even Jay Gagne, all of them, they watch and we learn. And it's a beautiful thing, because who would have thought? And here you are, top box winner already in the sport. Let's go. I love it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of, just like online, like a lot of the people that talk to us, of course, are really excited. I know a bunch of people who are huge advocates for the program, right? But there's the courage that people have with their voice online, and some of the comments that you see, like you see that, right? And I know that there's a lot of that kind of criticism of, like, if they're slow bikes and women, like, it's slow, like, this is so boring to watch, right? And it's just like, I think that a lot of people don't really understand, like, the level that most of us are coming into it at, and that it is a super crazy opportunity for us to be able to do this. And I mean, like, we can say that all day long, but again, like, kind of going back to what I had said, like, for my own journey, I didn't get to ride a motorcycle until I was an adult. And it's been less than 10 years since I have been on a motorcycle at all. And I'm having this opportunity to race at a professional level. And it's very different. It is a huge learning curve. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of self-discipline to be able to try to make the most of it, and really perform to everybody's expectations, not just your own, right? And there's a lot of people that just, I don't think, understand where we're coming from. And I had a lot of people ask me too, like, well, yeah, and especially people that don't ride motorcycles, like, well, why is Michaela so much faster than everybody else? It's like, well, she's been doing it since she was like 6 years old, and she's a lot younger than us. Of course, she's a fantastic rider. She's put in the work. Like, she's done a lot to get to where she is. And I kind of had to be reminded that, like, when I was comparing my lap times to hers, and they're like, how long have you been racing? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I
But
mean, you're right. It's hard not to, especially in the BTR program where it's just women, to judge yourself against somebody like Michaela when you're first coming in. And you're right, she's nothing replaces seat time. Again, I just said it, right? There's kids that grow up and they're fortunate enough that they get that opportunity to grow up riding and learning how to race, versus somebody like you that's not been on there long. You come in, but you're still winning. Um, uh it's that also I could see where that could add extra pressure mentally inside your mind on the weekend. You're like, shit, I felt like I was just killing it, and I'm 3 seconds off of her best time. Like, I got a lot to still improve, but don't never get discouraged by it. I mean, look how far you've already come. You will be there. You will get there. You on the top step of the box. Let's go. I love it. I love it. I want to get to a couple of these comments real quick. I got my buddy Brennan Triplet. What is up, Brennan? He says, no one is ever ready. Just got to jump in and swim with the sharks. You're right. Absolutely. I don't think anybody's ever ready to jump off that cliff of a leap of faith, so to speak, right? I got a good mate of mine, Craig O'Harris. He's a track day junkie, club racer too. He says, "What's up, Chris? Hope you're adjusting to two hands again." I am, slowly but surely. It's I've been in a cast for over 6 months, so yeah, it's definitely time. Um, Jason says, "Kira." Jason's awesome, and his kid's super fast too.
yeah, I love them. He's
Uh,
he's he's gonna be riding with us this year, and I can't wait to get him on a little bit of a faster bike and try to tow him around a bit.
I love it. Krago says, enjoy the riding. The extra speed and ability will come with enjoyment, and happy rider is a fast rider. Absolutely. I say it all the time. And I compare racing mentally to every day of life. It's such a mental game, right? The happier you are, the more comfortable you are, the more relaxed you are, the more you breathe, the
Mhm.
faster you are, you know. So if you apply that to everyday life and you approach things in that same kind of manner, it's easier mentally, basically, is what I'm saying. But speaking of the mental game, I love to ask this question because everybody has a certain routine, as I always say, preparing for battle, right? Like Leonidas against the 10,000 Persians, that's you against all the other girls out there. How do you approach the weekend? And how do you prepare for that? As far as, do you have a ritual, one boot on left boot before my right boot, certain type of music, anything like that?
So the week, like the approach up to the weekend, is difficult for me in general. I work nights, and especially because I'm trying to preserve my time off. Like I will work Wednesday night, like Wednesday morning, fly out, and then stay awake almost 24 hours. And then, we're going on to the track the next couple of days to race at a professional level. And then I'm flying home. And then that night that I fly home, I'm going back to work. So that's like trying to get my brain very quickly to adjust to, okay, I'm going to turn that switch. I don't care how exhausted I am. Like I am going to be serious and I'm going to make sure that I'm focused on what I need to do. Right. So that's definitely part of the ritual of traveling and just trying to work through any like residual nerves, especially going into barber. I'm like, oh my God, like what if I'm not as as good as like I think that I'm going to be, like trying to work through that. But breathing and just running through again the basics, just thinking about like the visualization of going through the turns, like what I'm doing every time. And then just I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna do my best and I'm gonna have fun regardless of how I perform. And as long as I can go home at the end of the weekend saying that I did everything that I could, um, like I'm going to be happy with that. As far as actually getting out on track, um, it's been a little bit of difference this year, trying to think about every session on track as almost like the race. Like qualifying is like a race, like going out and trying to put down these lap times. You're just not like right next to each other, so you've got to be able to mentally push yourself as hard as you can without somebody behind you with that threat of like, well, I'm going to win this, right? Like being able to get on the bike and immediately put yourself into that is something that I'm learning this year. And I don't feel like I've got, I don't know, like it's kind of a subtle routine overall. My bikes have different like theme songs.
I
So
love it.
the
I love it.
and I don't know why. It's just something that comes to me, and it's like, all right, this is the feeling of this bike, right? So for the Royal Enfield, who I've changed the name of, and I'm now lovingly calling Brittany because she's been through enough. It's Buck Cherry. Love the cocaine.
Love it.
Which seems like a completely weird thing for this bike, but it's the energy that she's got. Like we're just gonna go out there and be rowdy and put everything on like down and just make it happen. But there's a few like phrases I like to repeat to myself too, like as Buck Cherry's playing in my head. So like good starts and consistency wins races. I will manifest my own success. Like a lot of times I'll like talk to the bike a little bit before we go out. I crouch down in front and kind of like give her a little pet or something. Just like, all right, like basically I trust you. Show me what you got. Like I'll give you everything I got.
You know,
And then give her a little kiss and we're good to go.
let's go out there and square dance together, girl. Let's make this
Yeah.
happen. I love it. So a little Valentino-esque approach to racing. You have a little conversation, kneel down, and yeah, I love it. I think it's important for riders, whether you're track day, club racer, Moto America, BSB, whatever it is, to have that bond with the machine. Because at the end of the day, when you're out there, it's just you and her together, and that's it. everybody else is just cheering you on the side. So yeah, absolutely. And one thing I do want to talk, man, how did you, I'm a Bison ambassador. I just did that all wrong. I pointed over here, but right here, I'm a huge, people ask me all the time how I got involved with Bison. I met Robert and Tasha. I love what they did for the sport. I'm like, man, these people, they're the only ones here week in, week out. Even if you aren't in a Bison suit and you have a mishap, you could bring it to them and say, tell them they're going to take care of you, right? And get you back out there for your next practice, qualify session, whatever. And I'm like, what an awesome program they have. And then I got to know Robert and Tasha. And then as I got into this podcasting thing, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start just talking about Bison. And one thing led to another. And that's how I become I call it an ambassador, not an ambassador, right? So I added that little bison in the middle of it. And they're amazing people. They are not only there are people that I want to be friends with outside the paddock. Like I would physically go there and spend a week with them, just hang out right away from the racetrack. And again, what they're doing for the community is absolutely amazing. I mean, you just walk through the paddock, you see so many people in bison suit, and there's a reason for that. So how did that all come together for you, you and Robert and Tosh and Carter and Edith and all that good stuff?
So I there were a few different brands that I had like put a rider application out for before I knew whether or not I was going to be accepted into BTR. And Bison actually wasn't one of them because, if I wasn't accepted into the program, I wasn't going to be buying a brand new suit because I already had one that worked, right? But they were really open to like reopening some of the applications specifically for like I think me and like maybe one or two other of the riders that had gotten accepted into the program. As Miranda Kane had been with them, a sponsored rider for a while, so she definitely like pushed us towards them a lot more too. And yeah, I went for an ambassador the first year because I don't know, like still kind of like nervous, like I don't know if I'm worthy of like sponsorship or anything, right? But a lot of the ambassador program relies too on word of mouth, get like the some discounts that you might be able to give to some people that you talk to and can get them into Bison. But a lot of the people that like we were talking to as a group, they all would usually go through Rob, all of them. So this year I actually requested to go into the sponsorship and be like, all of our people are being referred through Rob, and I'm part of that absolutely to get that towards them. But yeah, like being able to be supported on more of a higher level, like personally. And I haven't really gotten to like hang out with Tasha or Rob, and I wish that I could because they, everything that I hear from other people, all of my interactions with them and with their company has been very positive. I think they've had really great like customer service, really great presence in the paddock, and they're very busy all the time. And it just seems like a lot of times here we're kind of like not uh, really meeting up and getting to talk like one-on-one. So I think I met Rob last year once, but that's like the only time I've gotten to see him. I've seen Carter a few times, but they're really great people, and I love how much support, like the support the sport, how much they're giving to help people represent riding, and all the other sponsors and everything that goes into it. And I'm just really proud to be able to help support uh, what their company is about and what they've been able to do here.
100%. And that brings me to a good point real quick. It is 2025, people. Treat yourself, love yourself. Go to bisontrack.com, get you a full custom suit, take that off the rack suit, make a purse, make a backpack, give it to your loved ones. Listen, you deserve a full custom suit. It makes a world of a difference. Again, bisontrack.com. Join the herd, people. It's absolutely amazing. And on that note, l- let me ask you this. Coming into this year, getting that first win off your back, who do you think is going to be your biggest challengers this year at BTR?
So
She's like, I didn't
obviously,
want you to ask me this.
so okay, so Shay picked up a ton of speed over the off season. She's been out CVMA in California, like racing. She's done a ton of races with them, and yeah, she's picked up a lot, which is awesome for her because she's got so much potential, especially coming from motocross. Like being able to handle the bike and like being kind of rowdy. She really scared me on the second line. I'm like, I gotta get a really good start to get away from her. uh, but Camille's my roommate. Like we need to room with one of the other girls in the program. So Camille and I have been roommates last year and this year, and just being able to sit down after the races or the times and being like, okay, what are you struggling with? Like, what are you working on? Like we're going to be up there together. Like we are going to be on the podium. So of course, trying to get Camille back up there with me. If she beats me, she's the only one that can beat me, and I'll be happy. No. Miranda was stepping up a whole lot last year. I think that like Cassie's really coming back from her crash at the Ridge, which has been really great to see because that bothered her a lot for a while, and trying to get over that like mental block of how to come back from a pretty bad wreck. But yeah, she was bringing it at Barber. So I think that there's going to be some really, really close racing from a lot of the girls this year. And, it's really going to come down to who makes the least mistakes, I think. And that's something that I've been really trying to work on this year, especially. There was, I was pretty messy last year. Just trying to push as hard as I could, and I knew Michaela didn't make a whole lot of mistakes, and that was one of the hardest things about trying to chase her down. But now I'm like, I gotta, going out for that first race, like I am going to try to run away from this as soon as possible. And if I make any mistakes, they are going to be right up there with me and maybe passing me, and then it's going to be a fight. And I'm like, I don't want that. I want to be able to seal this as much as I can. And I need to just make sure that I can throw down super consistent lap times and just not miss a shift. Making sure that I'm hitting all of my marks, not going offline. And like that kind of shift in the way to approach racing, because I think before it was very like thunder in your ears, like I'm kind of blacked out for the first like half of the race, like I don't know what's going on, I'm just like a crazy animal, like just going out there, right? But this was very calculated. This was like I need to be as calm as possible and just go out there and perform. And I think that made a huge difference. Overall, went out there with a really solid plan about how I was going to shake the draft, like how I was going to change some of my entries into corners so that nobody could scoop it underneath, very calculated, and just knowing like I gotta just bring it all together. Yeah, there's going to be some tight competition this year.
Absolutely, it is. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I wish BTR had more races than just 5, and I wish we had more on the East Coast and not so spread far out. But speaking of that, what track are you most looking forward to going to this year?
So I'm looking for some redemption at Road America. I think that I can pick up a lot of speed from last year at Road America. I'm looking forward to that. But I think that overall my favorite track has been the Ridge. I think that it's one of those tracks that works really good with ADHD because you're doing something all the time. You don't have any time to just like think and kind of space out, So it's a absolute leg killer. I barely could walk after that weekend. So having 3 races instead of 2 because we're doing our makeup from Barber, that's going to be kind of intense. But I've been really trying to work on my my physicality, making sure that I'm going to be able to handle it. And you know, a lot of that too just comes down to being relaxed on the bike, not fighting it, knowing how to move your body, like your ergonomics are set up right, so it's not hurting you to ride the bike. And I think that I'm really getting to the point there that I'm able to work around a lot of that and understand how to set it up for myself so that I'll be able to have more of that endurance and be able to uh, maintain it a lot more throughout the weekend. But yeah, I'm really really excited for the Ridge. Last year I was getting really close through six to getting my elbow down, so I've been working a lot more on my body position.
I love it. I love it. Unfortunately for me, every time I get my elbow down, my shoulder follows right after it, and my hip, and I watch my bike going opposite way. I'm like, hey, at least I got my elbow down, right? Now I feel you on that. I'm excited that you girls are coming to Virginia International Raceway. Yes, we're coming back. I'm in Virginia, so it's like an hour and 20, 30 minutes from my house. That's my local track. Excited to have BTR there. It's going to be a great weekend. I'm really looking forward to hanging out with you and Scott and Lucy and Miranda and Holly and everybody. It's going to be, yeah, you just wait. I bring the energy. I can't wait. It's going to be hugs and laughs and high fives and screaming and yeah, all that good stuff. It's going to be great. One
You'll fit
question I
right
do,
in.
yeah, I do absolutely. Um, this first win,
Mhm.
how did that make you feel, and was you expecting it?
Um, so I think that a lot of it came down to more just being relieved that I was able to pull it together, and make it happen. You know, getting that first race out of the way is huge. It, just the stress and the, you know, trying to make sure that you're going to perform where you want to. So a lot of that was just being relieved. I don't know that I had the opportunity to like really really enjoy it. But uh, God, just being able to see like my teammates up there, you know, Shay with her first podium, which is incredible, right? And uh, Camille fighting back from a really like poor qualifying session. Um, I was so excited. Like you can see it on camera when I point back at her, and I'm like, you know, I'm so proud of her being able to fight through the pack and get that third place. I don't know. I feel like it's just something that is so intensely like a goal. Like, of course, you're so happy to be there, but like until this championship is over, like I don't know that I can like really let off and then be. I don't know. It's just something in me. I don't know.
So you didn't do any type of celebration that night?
I went with my parents. We had a pretty nice dinner. We were the most underdressed people there, but it's okay because I won.
That's it. I'm the winner here. Let's see my trophy. Check this out.
I couldn't
You
even bring
set-
it home. It's too big.
oh,
My
so
dad has my dad has to drive it up in like a few months.
boo, Dad, you need to get on the road like right now. I need my trophy. I love it. Well, listen again. I'm super proud of you. You absolutely belong where you are. You've come bounds and leaps from where you are last year. Obviously, throughout this whole conversation, it shows the way you mentally approach it, your attitude, the whole nine. Um, again, you're a legend, and I'm so proud of you. Be proud of yourself. It's I can't wait to see what the future holds for you in this sport. I know a lot of the girls, Kayla and a bunch of them, they stayed within the sport. Some of them don't ride, but they do other things within the sport too as well. So regardless if you stay riding or you give back to the sport in other ways, it's always a beautiful thing to see. And again, you're a legend, my friend. First win. I can't wait. It's this season's gonna be so good. Not like all the other seasons weren't good at all. They were, but um I see this year the pace of everybody has definitely stepped up. So it's going to be a lot more closer battles than it was the previous past couple years when you had that step out. Uh, I don't want to say star, but stepped out. Um, talent, I'll say, just right off the jump, where they had such a big lead, and really throughout the pack, there wasn't really a whole lot of battling going on. Where this year it's definitely tightened up a whole lot, which is a great thing to see. So yeah, your future is bright, Kara. I cannot wait to see what unfolds. I'd love to see you, stay in the paddock, be on a Super Sport, Twins Cup, Moto America team out there, fucking kicking all the guys' ass, taking names, and yeah, throwing cake in their faces and say, I'm here. Let's go. I love it. I love it. Well, this has been a lot of fun. We're an hour and 5 minutes of this. I actually want to transition to our second part of the podcast. This is my favorite, where we get to know Kara away from the track and all that good stuff. So my first question to you is, what's for dinner tonight?
You know, that's a really complicated question because I don't know when dinner is because our schedules are so messed up. Like my wife works overnights also, so I don't know. We'll probably take a nap at some point. I made really good breakfast sandwiches for us. Uh,
I love it. I love it. I love breakfast. Who don't love? I think breakfast should have been dinner, because every time I eat breakfast, I just want to take a nap. Right? It's like, yeah, I feel you on that. I actually have a question. So a good friend of mine, Jamari, she races too. She says, "Love to see the battle. All you girls are great." And then her second, her question is, "What did you do? What do you do in the off season to prepare? Because the results show it all worked."
all right. So a lot of it was working with my Grom on any days that I could possibly, because in Iowa, the winter can be pretty harsh for a while. Uh, Luckily, we got blessed with not too much snow this year, and a couple of fairly warm days here and there. So if it was above 40 degrees, I was like, I need to go out and practice. And especially like over the winter, being able to have more of this practice with like kind of more wet conditions, like salty, cold tires. Like I've been really, really working on sliding the bike around. Like I've saved the front end several times here now, which is really cool to feel. It's like, one of those next steps of like bike control, like being able to feel like you really understand what the tires are doing. But I really noticed it when Camille invited me out to California for a track day at Chuckwalla, and that was my first time like back on track after the winter, um, and it was just like it was mind blowing to me to be able to feel the tires, like, and that just seems like something that you should just be able to understand, but it takes so much, I think, practice and work and just that seat time, right? Seat time's the most invaluable thing that you have. So being able to get out there regardless of what it is, but being able to go out with a goal and push limits on this slower bike in this more controlled environment, um, it just made a huge difference for my bike control, the feel that I had through the handlebars and understanding how to save the bike if it starts to step out. Um, yeah, it's been incredible. And being able to feel that like on track, getting back onto the Royal, like my Royal, not Camille's Royal, but um, like really knowing like I can send it into these corners, the corner speeds that I can take through it, and then being able to feel like, okay, cracking the throttle, the rear steps out, and it's like, it's okay, just keep going. The bike's going to do this the entire time that you're riding it, but like it's not out of control, right?
Right, right. Again, it's salsa dancing with a beautiful woman. I always compare motorcycles to women. The way I say that, and the reason why I say it is because, Carrie, you have a beautiful R6. You're like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. Look at her, right? And you get on her, and she likes a certain way. She likes to be talked to, ridden, handled, the way you dance with her, the feel she gives you, all that. And then you jump on, you see another beautiful woman, like, oh my God, look at that girl there. She's so gorgeous. I got to dance with this one. So you jump on her, and it's completely foreign. You're like, she don't like the same things the other girl likes. And now you got to relearn how to, the sensations and the feelings. And I'll never forget the first time that I had the sensation of I'm actually feeling what the fucking tire's doing right now. What the hell is this? Like, what is going on here? You know, it elevates your game mentally too as well. I'm a big advocate on slower bikes. They teach you so much. It obviously it is a slower speed, but when you do transition to that R6 or a bigger bike, they things happen a lot rapid pace. Uh, but you know how to handle that situation because of that. You know, it's a beautiful feeling. It really is. And then you look forward to going out and feeling that feeling again. And when you don't immediately get it, you're like, what's wrong with the bike? Or what's wrong with me? Am I not doing this now? Or well, have I lost it a little bit? What's going on?
Hmm. Yeah, and part of that, like the knowing how to warm up into it, like I kind, a little bit of a, I guess you could say, ritual, like how I warm up my tires on the ground, like what I do when I'm first starting like my practice session, and then starting to go into more aggressive like maneuvers as I warm up into it. And I think like having that kind of going out on track too, like it's a completely different language to learn, how to get the bike to handle and to give you the feedback that you want and how to interpret that.
It's
It's
almost
awesome.
like learning a new language. Like, okay, I learned this in English, now I got to learn it in Spanish. What are you talking about? It's foreign, right? Yeah, you're right on that. It is. Let me ask you this. What do you do for a living?
So I am a manager with Amazon. Work at a delivery station. So for the past 5 months or so at this point, I've been stretching instead of being a like shift level manager to being ops. So I've got two other managers below me now, and they're brand new going into the Christmas season. So being able to teach them like how to do the job and then support them like not only in just you know running shift and like doing the basic stuff, but then how to grow as leaders has helped me grow a lot more as a leader. And um, yeah, it's been a really good opportunity, and I'm hoping that our team continues to grow really well. They've been doing a fantastic job. We're gonna have the best station in the Midwest, so it's gonna come here.
I love it. I love the attitude. It's absolutely amazing. Are you a coffee drinker?
I'm not not never developed the taste for coffee. Energy drinks.
Red Bulls or Monsters?
So
She had to think about that. She's like, hold up. What flavor are we talking here?
I drink Monster for work. I drink Red Bull for riding.
It gives you wings.
It's proven. I don't know.
I mean, I love it. I love it. Tell us something we don't know about Kara.
You don't know about me. Um, what do you don't know about me? I've got this is a half done painting for a year, but I am a trained artist. I've got a bachelor's in fine art for painting, although I don't consider myself much of a painter. I typically preferred like illustration, charcoal work, stuff like that. But yeah, I one of my old paintings.
What are you talking about? Your Picasso. Look at that. I couldn't even, I could barely take a picture of my phone that good with that. Right. So, yeah, that's awesome. You're talented. I used to love to draw growing up. I like to color. That's something that nobody knows. I like to get me a color book and get away sometimes, and I just color. And what are you doing? I'm nothing. Leave me alone. I'm over here coloring. I'm a grown ass man coloring, right? You guys got purple over there? Yeah, can I get that, please? Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, I dabble a little bit. I don't do it much anymore. I do like to get the adult coloring books. I'm a big sea guy. I love sharks and all that cool stuff. So I like to do the coloring of fish. So yeah, I'm a wee little bit of nerd, but we all got it in us, right?
Bull
Um,
sharks. What are you talking about?
I love sharks. Matter of fact, I got this from a buddy of mine. This is a real megalodon tooth. Look how big that thing is.
Yeah.
It's huge. I want to make it out of a necklace, right? I have a big old necklace, right? Yeah, I'm a big See, I'm a big animal lover anyway. I don't like to kill ants or spiders or bugs. I prefer to catch them and let them go outside and all that. Where my wife comes in the house like Bigfoot, she's like, "Pull, pull, kill them all." I'm like, "No, let's save them. What are you doing?"
Yeah, I've got 4 tarantulas.
Well, there you go, right? So funny you say that. So growing up, me and my buddies, we'd be like, "Mom, can I have $1 in like quarters or nickels or dimes?" And we get together and we go out and we catch spiders in cups and we put them in front of each other and they'd fight. If you take 2 spiders, it don't matter what they are, and put them in front of each other, they're gonna fight. So we used to bet on them. Oh, my spider's gonna beat yours 3 times. Now the ante goes up. It's 25 cents a round, all that stuff. So yeah, I'm a big advocate of all animals and insects. I'm not a big lover of spiders. I've kind of had this arachnophobia growing up. I got bit by one, so I kind of shied away there for a little while. But then I realized I was like, man, I'm so much bigger than them, and I'm the one that provoked his ass to bite me anyway. So I shouldn't have been doing what I was doing. Yeah, I'm on that. My buddy actually got a big ass tarantula, and I go over there and I'm staring at him. I'm like, as long as you stay in that cage, I'm good. We are good. He's like, do you want to hold it? I'm like, I'm good. I'm holding it right now, visually in my mind, and that's where I'm at, and I'm good with it. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. Jamari says, "What are your goals after BTR?"
Right. So obviously continue with club racing. I don't know if there's going to be any championships there that I'm going to be looking for, but I think primarily the goal will be to do some at least freelance with Moto America here and there. Um, it all comes down to what kind of platform we try to go through, what I think it can be more or less competitive in, and like what I can financially afford, where I can travel to. There's a lot of moving parts there, and that's I don't want to have like I want my goals, but I don't want to have too much of a plan in place because then that kind of limits the opportunities that come. So I prefer to be more open to opportunities as they present themselves, but understand like where I want to end up, um, and work towards that as much as I can.
I love the approach. I think it's a level-minded approach mindset to that. I feel like if you get all wrapped up in certain things that it don't work out, then you're just fucking lost in your head, and you're like, "Oh my god, well, what have I done? I should have." We don't want that. So yeah, good approach. What's your worst habit
Like as a person,
as a
or
person?
oh, you know, again, like I think with the ADHD, I've got some object permanence issues that specifically at home, um, I make piles, and it's a little bit of a mess, and it's something that I've been trying to work on, and a lot of it's just because I don't have enough like space that can be designated for very specific things. So I need to make piles of very specific things, um, or I forget that they exist. Like I will literally forget to take like my badge to work if it's not laying on top of my backpack. Like if it gets underneath it, underneath the jacket or something, like I can't, my routine, um, I don't know. I forget things all the time if they're not like right out in front of me. So it drives my wife a little crazy. Again, I get into something I'm working on, and I'm hoping with a house here that we've got a little bit more space in because this place is pretty small. Uh, Hopefully, I can make that a little bit more of a habit.
Listen, I'm laughing. I'm laughing with you, not at you, because I'm damn. I'm the same way. Like I'm so bad too. It's like if I don't put my car keys right here on top of my lunchbox, and it's not there, I'm like, where the fuck is my car key? Where's my wallet? Where is this? Where's the last time you put it? I don't fucking know. Like this is normally where it's at. It's not here right now, and it just
You know, and I've got a really bad habit of being like, who moved it? Who moved? And it's like I'm the one that put it down in a stupid place, but I don't remember where I put it. It's not where it was supposed to be.
I did that the other day with my cell phone. It was in my hand. I was like, "Have you seen my cell phone?" She's looking at me like, "What are you fucking talking about?" I was like, "I can't find my phone." She's like, "You dummy, it's in your hand." I was like, "Yeah, never mind." I was just saying if you was paying attention, right? So yeah, I'm a little, yeah, I'm just me. I'm just me, right? Yeah. So that's something too that I've been, telling my son. In order to love somebody else, you gotta love yourself, and in order to be true friends with somebody, not only do you accept all the things you love about them, but you also got to love all their faults about them too as well in order to grow you as a better human and for you guys to actually become real friends. So yeah,
It's so important as a person to just be your most authentic self at all points in time, because
100%.
like I don't know, I don't really like I don't like the saying like you attract your tribe or whatever it is, but I mean simplest way to say that, like if you're yourself, you attract people that are going to be the most genuine for you. Scare away the people that aren't worth your time. So,
Facts, and as I say, we grow younger in life, we realize that the people that we spend time with or genuine time with are people that we really love and care about, because it's so important. Time's something we can't stop, rewind, take back, or any of that. So it's just me personally. That's just how I guess I've grown and seen it instead of going out and spending time with people that only, yeah, they may like you, but they use you to get something out of you or use you in a certain type of way and you don't see it. So yeah, I'm with you on that 110%. That's why I tell my son, dudes, be genuine, stay true to yourself, love yourself. Who cares if you're not part of the fucking cool kids? Guess what? They're not cool. They really want to be part of your freaking group, right? They just don't know how to. They think they would be unpopular if they were, but really in the background, they're like, I really want to hang out with him because he's cool, right? Just beat to your own drum, stay true to yourself, and it's take you so much further in life than trying to play a certain role or a certain character that you're not. People can see the genuine people see right through that anyway. So yeah, love yourself, be yourself, 110%. Everybody knows I listen to a shit ton of audiobooks. I'm not a good reader. Shop manuals, yeah, motorcycle manuals, I read those all day long. But when it comes to like a normal book, pick it up and read it. Carrie, you give me books. She's like, you need to read this. I'm like, okay, about 3 or 4 pages and then I'm drooling on myself done passed out somewhere. But audiobooks is like a podcast for me. It's like a traveling to the races or wherever I could throw something in, listen to it, and you learn a lot. Is that something you do too as well?
I haven't really read recreationally since college. We My wife and I do read a few things together sometimes, like some stories, but it's like I need somebody else there that's invested in it with me. Like again, that like that kind of discipline of I'm just going to sit here and read this thing. There's a lot of other things I'd rather be doing as opposed to that. So I don't really listen to audiobooks either at this time. Again, used to a lot, like as a kid driving around. I think that there's just also not a whole lot of stories that I've been really interested in um, overall, because I'd rather, listen to, I guess, like podcasts or listen to music,
I
be
love
able
it.
to, yeah.
I love it. So, what podcast do you listen to that you can recommend to people?
Yours?
I love it. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Oh, wait, there it is. I was gonna say, where's the hearts at? There it is. Thank you so much. It's an honor every time somebody says that to me. I get emotional a lot. It's because I never thought I would be one in this position and two being as well accepted as I have been in our beautiful circus, right? So it's thank you so much. It's you made my day for sure by saying that. It's yeah. Again, there it is. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I listen to obviously a lot of podcasts too. I really don't listen to a whole lot of motorcycle podcasts. There's some out there that I do listen to, like Corey Alexander and their podcast Pipe Dreams. A good buddy of mine, Dave Neal, has one called Off Track out there in the UK. I listen to Chasing the Race and Gypsy Tales, but I listen to a lot of other stuff. Joe Rogan's obviously one of the staples, right? Self meditation, podcasts and stuff. Just every day trying to learn and progress yourself, right? But there's times where I just want to cut it all off and jam out to some Young Dolph or Bob Marley or something and get with it, right? Speaking of music, what's your favorite genre of music?
Oh, man, I've been really hitting goth recently.
I love it.
Yeah, but one of I think my favorite band is Arcade Fire, which is kind of I don't really know what they're described as, but like more indie, I guess.
I love it. I man, I listen to a shit ton of music, from country to rap to rock to reggae to classical, Frank Sinatra, you name it. It depends on it's like you, it depends on what mood I'm in. I'll jam out. If I'm in the garage and I just feel a certain type of way, I'll jam Frank Sinatra wide open while I'm turning wrenches on my bike and just have conversations with myself and a machine that's not real that I talk to and expecting an answer back, right? So
Fully normal.
that's what I say. My wife says otherwise, but I'm like, she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm having a conversation with my bike. She's like, "Okay, are you feeling okay?" I'm like, "I'm great. How are you?" She's like, "Yeah, I'll be in the house." Oh, okay, bye. Let me continue my conversation. Yeah, I love it. Uh, Netflix series or Apple TV or anything. Is there anything you guys are binge watching that you could recommend to people? I just got done watching Ozark. Man, what a show! And then uh American Primeval, I think it is on Netflix was really good too as well. So those are the two that I just got done with.
Mhm. We mostly do Amazon Prime or YouTube is a big one for me, like almost chronically on YouTube. But I don't know. We haven't had any new series. We're typically like movie watchers, and I've been influenced for that from my wife. But she's been watching a lot of Forensic Files, which is not something I really grew up with. So yeah, I've been doing some crime stuff.
You guys sound just like my wife. I'm like, what are you watching? My wife does all the crime stuff. I like the crime stuff too, but she's into also like all this surgery. She's like, ooh, check our pimple popping. I'm like, I can't watch this shit. My wife's just glued to the TV. She's like, check this out. I was like, I'm good. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back in here and talk to my bike. You have this. This is you right here. Yeah. It's hilarious. TV movies, man. Have I watched any? I watched Dune 1 and Dune 2. That was pretty good.
Hmm.
That was a pretty good. I haven't watched any. I take it back. Me and my son went and watched the new Sonic movie. Well, it's not new anymore. That was the last movie I physically watched at yeah, at the movie theater. I tried. I love to watch movies and play video games and all that. I just feel like I really don't have a whole lot of time. Like you said, I'd rather be doing other shit sometimes. And there's times I just like to sit back and relax and crack open a cold beer and enjoy a TV show or something. So it's
Hmm.
very I don't get to do it very often. Matter of fact, today, as soon as we get done with this, I got to go buy dog food for my puppy. I got to stop by my buddy's shop real quick, get my car inspected. Then me and my son are going to sit on the couch and play some Xbox and watch some Star Wars because we all love Star Wars. Do you love Star Wars?
Yeah. Yeah. Grew up on it.
What character would you be if you was a Star Wars character?
Oh man. I never thought about that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I always really like Darth Maul, but I definitely wouldn't want to be a Sith. So, I don't know.
Darth Maul is one of my favorite characters. I love Darth Maul. I would be if I had to choose a side, I would be neither. I wouldn't be a Jedi and I wouldn't be a Sith. I would still be one in the fourth and Force. I'd have a lightsaber, but I'd walk that gray area where I'd help the good people fight against the bad people. But I still want to be married, have my own kids. And a Jedi, you can't be married or love anybody else. I'm like, forget all that. I just show me the ways of the Force, and yeah. So, but if I had to
I'll
pick
be
a character,
a
man,
pilot.
a pilot would be cool. The typical answers: Darth Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi, yeah, Han Solo, which I shot first in the scene. I killed Guido at the table. So yeah, let's go. I'll
You know,
roll with that.
I just want to be R2D2.
Right, or C3PO, either one. That's awesome. If you had your own private track day and you can invite any three people in the world, dead or alive, it could be MotoGP riders, it could be just your average people that's never ridden before. What three people would you invite to your private track day?
So I, for emotional support, I want Rob there, Rob Oliva. um, I think that having like Valentino Rossi would be Sick as hell, and Nikki Hayden.
Hayden. So huge. Two of my favorite racers. I named my son Hayden Rossi after Nikki Hayden and Valentino. So yeah, I'm with you on that. It's always a hard question. I often think about that when I ask. I'm like, man, there's so many people that I'd want to have at my own private track day just to not only get to ride with them on the track, but get to know them more as a person, an individual, and just share that quality time with them, so to speak. So yeah, that'd be an awesome track day weekend, wouldn't it? For sure. Um, if you had your own private island, what's the one racetrack you'd have on your island?
I don't, I don't know enough of. I think like the ones around the world. Like it's just too stressful to like commit to one that I've never ridden on. I don't know.
Make a good point. You met me. I would have Cadwell Park, of course. I'd love that's my favorite track, and of course, if I had my island, my buddy pointed out to me on the podcast, "Oh, if you got an island, you got streets, so you got a little mini TT course too as well." And I was like, "That's a good point right there," because I'm a huge TT guy. It's my favorite race of the year. Um, if I could only watch one racing event of the year, it would be the TT hands down over BSB, over Moto America, over MotoGP. It's something that the people that do real road racing, it's just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Not taking nothing away from short circuit racing because it's just as beautiful. Well, not as beautiful, but it's yeah, the emotions, the history, the aura about the whole place is just absolutely that. The Northwest 200, the Macau, yada yada yada. So, do you watch obviously MotoGP, World Superbike, or BSB or anything?
I honestly I haven't really been like ever followed championships. I will watch occasional races or specifically like highlights, things that like I'm specifically looking for like technique or something a lot of the time, or like racecraft. But I don't know. And I think that that's kind of weird for me, and I've been a little, I don't know, self conscious about it that I don't really watch a whole lot of racing, like overall. Like I just never grew up with it. I never really got into like the first actual race that I had ever gone to was when I was racing at HPT for the first time. It's just not something like not motorcycles, cars, anything. That's the first race I'd ever been to. So I just it's not I don't know. It's not something that I don't know. Kind of like I don't like watching basketball, but I like playing basketball. Or like I can't play football, but it's like I prefer to like watch the highlights of football as opposed to the entire game of football. You know?
Hey, I'm with you on that. The only ball sports I really watch is soccer. I'm a soccer nerd. Basketball, of course, grew up with Michael Jordan, who don't fucking love Michael Jordan, right? Let's just be honest. Yeah, I ever since racing or riding really took over my life, all that other shit kind of went on the back burner. I'm like I like the idea of the football and the basketball and the Super Bowl. I go to parties at Super Bowls. I just go for the talking to my friends and eating hot chicken wings and stuff like that. Don't give a shit about who's winning or who's
The
not
energy,
winning.
right?
The energy, yeah, that's it. Like, let's eat hot, spicy food, good food, drink some cold beer, and have a good time. Who cares who's winning? Yeah, I'm like you on that. Um, it's awesome. What's your spirit animal?
Uh, God, I just feel like it's so cliche now, but this is this has been something for years of my life, like before the internet was like as big of a monster as it is now. But I've always really connected with like wolves. But I think that in more recent years, I've been able to come to terms with like more of like a husky is to a wolf than an actual wolf is.
Yeah. No, I get exactly what you're saying. Speaking of that, do you have any animals
Other than the
besides spiders?
well, other than the spiders, right now, no. Because we've been renting for a few years, and I just the way that our houses are have been set up, and I just haven't wanted to pay extra
I got
for.
my two girls are here with me. I got my old dog Charlie right here, and then our new puppy Princess Fiona's right here.
What are they?
Uh, Charlie, my older one, the white one, she's a purebred pit. She's like 13. She's slow getting around right now, as the age comes. The other one is a pit lab mix, but she's way more of a lab than she is as of a pit. I had a dog Cruz that I had to put down unexpectedly. He was only 6 years old, a little bit over a year ago. I actually got a Snoopy tattoo on a skateboard with a big heart for my dog Cruz. And it was one of those things that it's part of life. I didn't know I was ready to get another dog. My wife was constantly sending me pictures of because I'm a big believer of adopting from Angels of Assisi and stuff like that instead of buying dogs because there's so many out here, that need a good home. So she's constantly sending me all these pictures, and she sent me one of Princess Fiona, and I was like, I gotta have her. And my wife was jokingly was like, okay, we'll go get her. She didn't realize at the time I was on Angels of Assisi's website filling out the application. Next day I went and got her, right? But at the time, you don't realize it. I needed her. You know what I mean? Everything happens for a reason, even though you don't understand why it's happening or all that good stuff. So yeah. Um, if you had one superpower, what's the one superpower you would have?
What's up, mother effers?
What is up? You met Rossi? Meet Kara. Say hi. She races for
Hi.
BTR.
Hi.
Wait.
And his big pajama outfit.
Rate the drip. Hold on.
Rate the drip.
Don't
Right.
look at me.
I'm not looking.
Oh my God.
What else can I wear?
What else can you? I don't know. Whatever you want to wear. So my son, Kerry, he always busts up in here all the time and during the podcast, and I love it. What you putting on? Some shades? You putting on an outfit? All right, all right.
Here.
I love it. I love
Right
it.
here.
Ready?
It's my favorite. Let me see. Yep, those are some of my favorites. You're right. Let's see the drip. All right, he ain't ready yet. So let me ask you this, Kara. If you could travel back to any era in time, what's the one era you travel back to?
You asked me about my superpower.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I got ADHD, right? Go on to the next thing because my son interrupted. But yeah.
So I don't know if I would actually love it or hate it, but I think that it would be the most powerful superpower to have, which is what is kind of tempting about it, I think, is the ability to control time. And like the speed, not necessarily like go back or forward in time, but like be able to like slow time down. So like I could basically stop time and do whatever I wanted and then start it again, right?
That would be awesome. Yeah, I never thought of that. Yeah, that would be
your reaction time.
Yeah, time. Yeah, that's
infinite time to do anything you want, and like no time has passed.
No time has passed. I like
it. Would honestly probably drive me crazy, but
yeah. That's a good answer. I'm gonna have to write that down. That's something I've never thought about. I always said teleportation. How cool would it be? Just be like, oh, I'm gonna go to Phillip Island. Boom, I'm there. Oh, I want to go there. Boom, I'm there. Right? Like I can't drive to the ridge all the time because it's 35-hour drive for me. But I'd be like, you know what? I'll be back. Boom, there I am.
Or also, kind of maybe on the same like thing there, not having to sleep ever.
You know, it's funny you say that. I often wonder why us humans, we need to sleep. I always say you can sleep when you're dead. You're living right now. Breathe and let's go. Have a good time, right? So yeah, it's. I understand this. Oh, you got to recharge your battery. Why we got batteries? We don't have no batteries. I don't have any batteries, right? What are you talking about? Yeah, sleeping is. I only get about 6 hours of sleep. That's it, a night, a day. I try to obviously live in the moment every day and enjoy it. But man, time's just gone by so quick. It's such a thief. It's it's crazy. Absolute crazy. Listen, Kara, this has been a lot of fun. I can't wait to sit back down with you for part 2. So just stay on with me. As soon as I end this, we'll go ahead and schedule our part 2. But the last question I do want to ask you is if you were to plan a bank robbery, who's in with you? Who you bringing?
Okay.
You already know.
There's rating it.
Got these. I have a green one, but I don't know where it is. Got the
You got the bling bling.
what? The shades. The Grinch.
Mhm.
It's,
I mean, like solid 8 out of 10, man.
She said solid 8 out of 10. As you can tell, he keeps me busy all the time.
Here you go. Take 'em. I can't get them.
Here, I wear them. Boom. Oh,
Bank robbery. I feel like God, they wouldn't do it with me, but I feel like the people that would be the most valuable would be my parents. Like they've got skills in certain things that I think would be really really crucial for a bank robbery. But
I love it. I love it. What an answer. I ain't never had that answer. My parents, they're going to help me rob this bank. What are you talking about? Yeah, I love it. Oh, my God. Well, listen, Kara, this has been absolutely a proper mega time. I cannot wait again to sit back down with you. You, my friend, is an absolute legend. You belong where you are in the sport. And again, congratulations on your win. You are yeah, you're definitely a force to be reckoned with at
Mega.
BTR. Not even within BTR, just the whole industry. I love the whole commitment. I love your
Mega.
attitude. Great things in your whole future, and it's an honor to be part of it, and more of an honor to be friends more than anything. So, yeah, can't wait to see you step on that top box, and I can't wait to see the trophy when your dad brings it home. You got to send me a picture of it for sure. Dad, I hope you're on the way, right? Yeah, she's like, it's
Yeah.
this tall. I'm telling you, I love it. I actually got a buddy of mine gave me his Moto America trophy right here that he got. So
that's very nice.
yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. Really, really cool. But so I'm gonna let you end the podcast, but first let me give all my shout outs real quick. First thing I always say is, thank you so much for everybody that watches this podcast. It's an absolute honor. Without Care and everybody else coming on here, I would not be able to do this. So it's nothing but love to every single one of you guys and girls. And I really mean that. Big shout out to Next Level Financial for all your financial needs. Bisontrack.com. I mean, what are you guys doing? It's 2025. Get a custom suit. Chef Eats, TST Industries. You guys can go to the clothingkings.co.uk and order all your Pendergast merch. I got big news coming here soon. You'll be able to go to a certain website and order Pendergast merch here in America too. So you guys stay tuned. I'll post that as soon as it's done. Big shout out to Superbike Supply, hashtag Do It For Dad, SFL Mini GP, RD Racing in the UK, Vet2 Track, Flying Eyes Optics, 64 Degree Racing. So Tate, have you ever met Tate from 64 Degrees Racing?
No, I haven't.
Oh, he's awesome. He actually sent me a custom 2-piece undersuit that I have up there. I got a shit ton of undersuits, but some people like the 1-piece, some people like the 2-piece. I found myself flip-flopping between both of them, depending on the mood I'm in, really. But yeah, it was an honor. He hit me up and was like, I'll make you a custom, 2-piece undersuit. And it's my favorite undersuit. I freaking love it. On that note, I tell everybody, when you go to a track day, a road race event, wherever you are, bring more than one undersuit. And if it's really hot that day, at least change it out once. Because if not, you walk up to somebody, they're going to walk through the paddock and they're going to be like, hey, what's up? Look, she's like, yeah, I made that mistake. I know, right? We all have. So I love it. Big shout out to Flying Eyes Optics. I already said that. Ghetto Customs for all your custom body work. If you are in Pennsylvania, look no further than Carnes Performance. Big shout out to KYT Helmets America. K-Tech Suspension, Birch, Kendall, and Dakari, RTR Racing in North Carolina. If you're in Virginia, look no further than Coleman Power Sports. If you guys and girls ever wanted to do a track day at a MotoGP track, look no further than my buddy McLeo Escapes Track and Tour. I need everybody to go to roadracingworld.com, sign up and donate to the air fence. It's imperative that we have those air fences. If we didn't have them, Kiara wouldn't be out there doing her thing, winning on the top box, waiting on this big 7-foot trophy to come in. We wouldn't be able to do track days, right? So listen, go to roadracingworld.com, donate $5, $10, $500, whatever you have. And if you end up coming to a Moto America event and Chris Ulrich is always there. Sometimes he brings his 2-up super bike and you can get a 2-up ride with him. I forget what the minimum donation is. So yeah, we thank you for doing that. Big shout out to STG, Brian Van and Max Van. For all your graphics needs, you got 3 of my friends do it. You got Drip and Red, REB Graphics, and GRG, which is Gus Rodeo. again, you won't go wrong by ordering any graphics from any of them. Big shout out to Venom Undersuits at Venom Sports. I got a good friend of mine at Leaky makes undersuits too. She actually sent me uh, Jonas Folger's MotoGP undersuit. And I was like, dude, this is awesome. I got one coming too. I can't wait. I'm a big advocate for all my friends in the industry, supporting all of them, right? Yes, I am a Bison ambassador. Yes, I got a lot of friends in the industry that makes leather suits and undersuits. Again, it's all personality, right? So you find out where you fit in. If there's what you want to go with, you're not going to go wrong, but by any direction you go with. So big shout out to BTR, Bill Train Race. Everybody knows I love the program. So, and when you guys are there at the next race coming up, which is the Ridge, if I'm not mistaken.
Road America.
Yeah. Okay. Road America in 3 weeks, 4 weeks time.
It's right at end of May, 31st and 1st.
Okay, so when you're there, please stop by BTR, say hi to all the girls, get you some pictures, get you some autographs. Do you have any merch for sale?
There's Royal Enfield merch in the fan area.
Okay, well, show some love and support and get you some Royal Enfield stuff. Put it on, go by and say hi. Trust me, they all love it when you guys come by and get pictures and autographs. It's absolutely amazing. So make sure to stop by and say hi to everybody. Big shout out to Cole King at King Performance. Everybody, all my friends at Turn 12 and Obsession Engineering. They running my mouth. Kara, again, it's an honor. Tell everybody where they can find you, all your sponsorships, shout outs, the whole nine.
Pull my notes. No, so I'm on Facebook here, Knebel, and I kind of post anonymously there with Instagram at Broito Moto. I've got a YouTube that I have not been posting anything on, but have a little bit of race footage and some of my really, really old stuff when I first started riding, which is also at Broito. Sponsors, I mean, Royal Enfield, like the biggest ones, right? And there's a whole list of like crazy sponsors related to Royal Enfield that I will turn my face red trying to list off here, but so many great companies that are supporting the program, and we really could not do that without any of them helping make sure that this is possible for us. Personally, working with LM2 with Rob Oliva, and you can rent a bike if you're going to a track day or race. We got some bikes for rent, so that's a good option. I'm doing that with the R6 this year, just going to drive out there, and he's going to have the bike ready for me. And all I had to do was, rent the bike, but buy tires, and I'm going to be working with him on a actual built bike that's ready to go, and just show up and ride, which is awesome. And Bison, Vortex, KYT. I think that's all of them. You put me on the spot.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, I should have come prepared. That's my fault. It won't happen again.
It's all good. We'll save it all for part two. Again, thank you guys and girls so much for tuning in on this episode. It's been absolutely amazing sitting down with the legend, Kiera. Again, I'm so proud of you. Yeah, if you guys come in midway or not at the very beginning, as soon as I end this, you can go to my YouTube channel, my Facebook, and rewatch it. But if you can wait, it'll be out Spotify, iHeart, and all that good stuff tomorrow. And I'll tag you on all the socials and all that good stuff. So, yeah, listen, this has been a lot of fun. Absolute honor to have you on. Can't wait to have you on for part two. You guys stay tuned. It's coming up. We're actually going to schedule it here in a minute. And I hope everybody's weekend is as proper mega as you. Until then, we will see you soon. Is there anything you want to say, Kara, before I end this?
Thanks for watching.
You heard it there. See ya. All right, give me 1 second. Look, there's balloons. I don't even know how I did that. Give me 1 second.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.